Of course, here is a full long story based on the superhero title Captain Kindness. Captain Kindness and the Great Grumble. In the sunny, cheerful town of Smiling Meadows, there lived a boy named Leo. Leo wasn't the strongest kid in his class, or the fastest. He couldn't climb the monkey bars in a single breath, or kick a soccer ball the farthest, but Leo had a special gift. His smile was like a tiny sunbeam, and he had a knack for knowing exactly what would make someone feel better. One afternoon, a strange thing began to happen in Smiling Meadows. They started with Mr. Henderson's prize-winning roses. They didn't just wilt. They curled up into grumpy, thorny balls. Then, the bubbly fountain in the town square began gurgling gloomy gray sludge. Most worrying of all, the people started to change. Neighbors who usually waved and chatted over garden fences now muttered and slammed their windows shut. Friends at the playground argued over swings and refused to share the best toys. A low, persistent grumble sound hung in the air, and the whole town was covered in a dreary, drizzly cloud. Leo felt the grumpiness trying to seep into him too. He saw his friend Sam sitting alone on a bench, kicking at the dirt with a deep frown. "What's wrong, Sam?" Leo asked, sitting next to him. "Everything's stupid," Sam grumbled. "Lily wouldn't let me play with her jump rope. No one ever shares with me." Leo knew Lily was usually the sharingest person ever. Something was very wrong. He felt a strange warmth in his chest, a buzzing feeling that fought against the town's grumpiness. He looked at Sam's sad face and knew what he had to do. "I'm sorry you're feeling left out," Leo said, his voice warm and sincere. "Hey, I have my super bouncy ball. We could play catch?" As he spoke, something amazing happened. A tiny, shimmering light, the color of a happy sunrise, flickered around Leo. The light swirled and gathered, forming a cozy crimson cape around his shoulders. The buzzing in his chest solidified into a bright, golden K emblem on his t-shirt. Sam's jaw dropped. "Leo, your cape." Leo looked down and gasped. He felt different, stronger, but not in a muscle-y way. He felt full of warmth and courage. He knew right then that his gift for kindness was his superpower. He was Captain Kindness. "Come on," Captain Kindness said, his voice now filled with gentle power. "We're going to fix this." Their first mission was Lily. They found her clutching her jump rope, tears in her eyes. "Everyone's so mean," she cried. Captain Kindness didn't fight her with words. He performed his first super act, the compassionate compliment. "Lily," he said, his emblem glowing softly, "I really like the way you can jump rope so fast. You're the best I've ever seen. Would you maybe show Sam and me your coolest trick?" The gloomy cloud around Lily seemed to shiver. A small smile touched her lips. You really think so? She wiped her eyes. Okay. She started to jump, and as she did, a tiny speck of gray drizzle above her head vanished. It was working. They moved through the playground, a small team now. They found two kids arguing over a single red shovel. Captain Kindness knew this called for the sharing solution. That's a fantastic sand castle, he said to them. You know, with two architects, you could build a whole kingdom. One can dig the moat, while the other gathers shells for decorations. Teamwork makes the dream work. The two kids looked from the shovel to each other, and then to the glorious sandcastle they could build together. They shrugged, and one started digging, while the other went to find shells. Another gray cloud poofed away. Word of the helpful boy in the crimson cape began to spread. Captain Kindness didn't defeat the grumpiness with punches or laser beams. He defeated it with his superpowers. The encouragement engine, a powerful high five that could make anyone believe they could try again. The inclusion, infusion, ability to spot someone feeling left out and find a perfect way to bring them into the game. The gratitude beam. A simple, genuine thank you that shone like a spotlight, making helpers feel seen and appreciated. He and his growing team of kids followed the thickest, grimiest cloud of grumble to its source, the town square. There, in the middle of the gloomy fountain, was a small, miserable, fuzzy creature. It had big, sad eyes and long, droopy ears, and it was shivering. With every sob that shook its body, another wave of gray grumpiness gurgled out of the fountain and over the town. It wasn't a villain. It was a grumble gremlin, and it was lonely and lost. The other kids wanted to shout at it or shoo it away, but Captain Kindness raised his hand. Wait, can't you see? It's not mean. It's sad. He waded into the murky water, his crimson cape floating behind him. The grumble gremlin covered its face, expecting a scolding. Instead, Captain Kindness used his greatest power yet, the empathy embrace. He didn't say a word. He simply sat next to the creature and put a gentle arm around its fuzzy shoulders. He understood its loneliness. It's okay, he whispered. You must have been so scared all by yourself. We're here now. You're not alone anymore. The grumble gremlin looked up, its big eyes wide with surprise. No one had ever been kind to it before. It stopped crying. The gurgling sludge in the fountain slowed, then cleared, becoming sparkling blue water again. The gray clouds over the town began to break apart as sunlight poured through. All over Smiling Meadows, people stopped arguing. They blinked, shook their heads, and wondered why they'd been so cross. They started waving to each other again, their smiles returning. The grumble gremlin Now a cheerful yellow color nuzzled Captain Kindness's hand. With a happy little chirp, it faded away, its job finished now that it had found the kindness it needed. Leo's cape and emblem faded too, but the warm, powerful feeling in his chest remained. He was just Leo again, but everyone knew he was also something more. The town threw a party in the square to thank him, but Leo just smiled his sunbeam smile. "I didn't do it alone," he said. "We all did it together. Being kind is a superpower everyone can have." And from that day on, whenever a gray cloud of grumpiness tried to form over Smiling Meadows, someone would always remember. They would share a toy, give a compliment, or offer a helping hand, and a tiny, shimmering light would flicker around them just for a second, proving that Captain Kindness was never really gone. He was in all of them.